ClickUp CRMs fail? Because there is no account context, no next step, and lost follow-ups. By the end of this video, you'll have a simple CRM that your team will actually use. Leads, deals, accounts, and contacts tied together with automations that do the chasing period. I'm Hina from IT Visualise. I'm a systems consultant helping small to medium-sized businesses streamline their operations. Let's get to the tutorial. Remember, ClickUp can be used as a CRM when you are a small team, but it is most effective as a project management software. Some key concepts to remember when setting up the CRM are leads, which are the potential opportunities that have shown interest in your services and yet to progress through your sales funnel. You still need to determine whether they are a good fit. So once a lead shows some potential, you can convert it into deals. Deals or opportunities are the potential sales or revenue generating activities linked to specific contact. You can move them through your sales pipeline. You can also determine the value associated with the deal. When I say a pipeline, it is a visual representation of your sales process. Contacts, they are the individuals you interact with. Accounts or organizations, they are the businesses that you're dealing with and they can have one or more contacts. Services, this is a list or catalog of your business service or any products that you provide. Now there are relationships between these entities. Deals can be related to organizations, so one organization can have many deals. Deals can also be related to contacts. One contact can have multiple deals, and deals can be related to services. Leads can be related to accounts, but this is optional. You can use this when the lead is from an existing customer. Let's now move into the structure that you want to build to work on your CRM. Now at the space level, if you have your sales and marketing space, it's ideal to create the sales folder within that. So now I am in the demo space and then I have a folder that says sales. Within this folder, I have 5 lists. One is leads, the other one is deals, organizations, contacts, and services. Within leads, we have some key fields that are really useful when you're tracking information. So the name of the task is the name of the lead. Then we have the email field, phone number, the team size, the job title, company name, company website, and the most important bits that we usually ignore. These are the next step, which is a text field, and the next step due date, which is a date field. These are the 2 important fields that actually keep track of everything. Leads can come in from different sources, and if you want to utilize a form to capture those leads, then you can create a form over this list. What I have created here is a contact us form, and these are the fields that I'm capturing data in. So these are similar to what we have in the leads because these fields are coming from the leads list. Now, lead source here, how did you hear about us, is a drop down where they can fill in where they heard about you. It's a good indicator to analyze what sources are working for your business. You can embed this form in your website or any social media platforms. This form structure is similar to the ones used in CRMs like HubSpot and Pipedrive. When anyone fills in this form, the information gets added into the leads. As I mentioned in the terminology of the leads, that these are your contacts or organizations or anybody who's in contact with you initially and you still need to nurture them. So it's important to make sure that you make use of the automations to set up the sequential emails. The automations that I'm using at the moment are when the lead status changes to an opportunity, then we move it into the deals. So if I go here, you can see that when the lead status is changing to an opportunity, it will move it into the deals. Now, if you want to keep the record in the leads as well, you can check this box for your on records. But I'm not keeping it here because I want this to move into the pipeline for the deals once it is an opportunity. The other automations are like when the form is submitted, I send a thank you email with the link to call or to initiate further discussion. So this is automatically sent out. Just make sure that you have your email integrated with ClickUp, and once you have it, then you can send the email to the person who has submitted the form, so you don't have to take any action manually. Provide the subject and provide the content that you want, and then you can add your signature as well. If the lead has not responded, let's say for 3 days, you can send up the first follow-up email. These are the automations where we can set up the sequences. Here, when the form is filled, and the current date is at least 3 days after the created date, and I also want to make sure that the lead has not responded yet, therefore I have to check on the status. And that's why I will keep track of the status here. So if the status is any of these, I'm using these statuses, it is still lead and it is not that they have responded yet to the email, then I will send this email. And similarly, after 6 days, if the status remains the same, that means the lead has not responded, then I will send up another follow-up email. You can also create more steps to it, like on day 10 and day 14 as needed, and then you can determine when the lead becomes an opportunity or it's lost. The more steps will help you nurture the leads further. You can also create views where you can have the leads grouped by source or by owner. Or you can have a view where you want to see what needs to be followed on by today based on the due date of today. Now, if you don't want to nurture the leads and you do not have any webinars, you don't have any lead magnets or any specific sales or marketing team who work on getting the leads, then you just have people coming into filling the form directly on your website, scheduling the calls with you, there is no nurturing involved, then you can just skip the leads list and you can start from the deals list. The statuses I'm using for the list are like by the default, the first status is the lead, and then whether the lead has responded to the email or not, it's on hold, or whether it's marked as an opportunity or not interested. I have set them up as done. And the reason I have marked opportunity as done is because as soon as the lead status changes to opportunity, I'm moving it into deals. So I do not need to track it further within the leads list and instead in the deals. However, if you want to keep track of it, then you can utilize it accordingly. And these were the lead statuses. Let's move into the deals. The important fields in the deals are the assignee, which is the owner of the deal. You can have a custom field, a setup owner as well instead of the assignee. And then we have the relationship fields, contact person, and services. They both are the relationships. So the contact person is a relationship fields with the contacts, and you can see the email roll-up field here so that we can see and it shows up the name of the person along with the email. Services, this is where the deal is interested in. So if you have any products too, depending on the type of the business you have, you can list them down. So this information is coming from the services list. If the deal is interested in more than one, then you can select more as well. Here I'm using the service cost roll-up field as well, just to see how much the service costs if it's not bespoke requirement. Comments can be shown here. Have a quick look on any latest updates by the sales staff. The next custom field is industry, which is important to, along with the source of the lead as well. You can determine where it's coming from. Now payment, this is a drop down here, whether the invoice has been sent or not, invoice being paid or not, or if it's pending. Now if the invoice is paid, we change the deal status to 1, so that becomes a client, so there's an automation in place. The value associated with that deal to know the expected revenue can also be determined here. Another thing which is really important, and I do always set it up in CRMs like Pipedrive, is to know the forecasted revenue as well as the probability of closing a deal. So I'm using a formula here for the forecasted revenue, and how it is calculated is that it is taking up the value of that particular service that the deal gives us and then the probability of closing it. This probability is actually determined by the status of the pipeline that that particular deal is in. For instance, this particular deal is a new opportunity yet, so I'm assigning it a 10% probability of closing. And once it changes into different stages, which you can see here, if I change it, then there are automations in place. So it's meeting scheduled. The probability is set to 35 now, and the forecasted revenue is 350. If we keep on moving it into different stages, once the proposal is sent, then it will be 60%. You can actually determine from those probabilities that how close you are in winning that deal. The next custom field is the close date. You can determine that as well, so you can see that how long usually it takes for a deal once it's open to close. And again, as I said in release as well, that the next step date and the next step due dates are important. So I'm making use of those here as well. Now, if you go into the board view, it gives you actually the pipeline view of the deals, where a deal moves from new opportunity to meeting scheduled to send proposal, then to negotiations, and if it goes on hold, closed lost, or closed won. Now, if you have a different workflow depending on your business, you can alter these statuses and this pipeline will work according to that. Let's move into the automations which we have for these deals. When an invoice is paid, set the deal to 1. These are the automations where we are setting up the probability. Let me show you one of them. So when the deal is created, then I'm setting the probability of closing it to 10 because it is set as a new deal, and as the status changes, I'm setting it further to 35 when it's meeting scheduled. To 60% when it sends proposal, 100% when it's won, 80% when it's in negotiations. Now, it all depends on the different stages. Once you have more data, then you can have saved filters and views based on like my deals, what deals are closing this month, or what are at risk when no next steps are mentioned. You can also set up some more automations, like when the deal moves to send proposal and the value of the deal is empty. Then you can have a prompt for the owner where you can notify them to set the value. Another automation could be when the field next step due is overdue. Then you can notify the owner and add a needs attention tag to it. And another could be when the status changes to 1. Then you can post a celebration comment. Hey, we have won a deal. Or you can create a kickoff task in your delivery space so that the project management team can get an alert that there is a new client who needs to be onboarded. Let's move into organizations now. You can have the name as account as well instead of organizations. So we have keep the statuses simple here, where we only have the active and an inactive status. In the custom fields, we have the address, website, team size. Again, the relationship fields where we have the contacts that are associated with this organization and the deals that we have in play. You can have multiple deals active with one client. However, if that's not the case for the products or services that you provide, then you may not need that. Let's move into contacts now. contacts are the people who you are actually dealing with, whom you communicate with. So it's important that you keep track of the email and link down to the organization they are associated with, any active deals that particular contact has, and their phone number. And these are the important things that you would need to keep track of when you are setting up your CRM. And this is what actually completes the CRM in terms of the contacts, organizations, and deals that we have. Services or products list, where you can actually list down all of your services so that you provide along with the cost and any deals associated with them. You can generate reports like how many deals are looking for that particular service so that you can have an account of that as well. Then you are setting up the CRM. Some guardrails to look after are that every lead and deal must have an owner, a next step, and a next step due date. Keep your statuses simple and consistent, and review your automations monthly to avoid notifications noise as the volume grows. You now have a ClickUp CRM your team will actually use, with relationships, nurturing leads, and hands-off conversion. If this is helpful, please like and subscribe our channel for more ClickUp build videos. Want me to tackle your workflow? Submit your challenge using the link below and I'll share it in this channel. Anonymized, but all done for you. And if you need this implemented for your team, book a 30-minute discovery call with the link in the description. See you in the next ClickUp build. Thank you.